I want to just, staying on the corruption theme, the Panama Papers were leaked this past weekend by the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists and many other major news organizations from Germany, the UK, United States are working on it. The revelation so far is focused, I guess the biggest revelation has been on schemes related to the Vladimir Putin, the Icelandic prime minister, but also Nawaz Sharif in Pakistan. There's going to be revelations that hit the United States apparently in the coming days. And I'll get to some of the specifics in a moment. But first, the consortium put out a really smart video that we've tweeted out on Twitter at majority.fm. But let's play the first 90 seconds of this video because it explains the very, very real-world consequences of this global evasion and criminality.
Over the past 3 years, Syria's Air Force has rained death on more than 21,000 civilians. Their bodies ripped apart by exploding barrel bombs, missiles dropped on homes, businesses, bus stops, even hospitals. These war crimes have been well documented. Not so the part played by the shadowy world of offshore finance. Behind the scenes, companies using offshore tax havens were accused of supplying fuel to the Syrian Air Force. In 2014, multiple governments, including the UK and US, issued bans on doing business with these companies. But now, a new global investigation has revealed that a Panamanian firm helped these companies operate as attacks in Syria continued. That firm, Mossack Fonseca, is a key player in a sprawling, secretive industry that the world's rich and powerful use to hide assets and skirt rules by setting up front companies in far-flung jurisdictions. More than 300 journalists trawled through millions of leaked records from Mossack Fonseca to expose an alarming list of clients involved in bribery, arms deals, tax evasion, financial fraud, and drug trafficking. Behind the invoices, emails, and paper trails are real victims.
Is that it? Okay, you didn't take the next part involving Russia. Okay. They go on to explain how specifically a Russian businessman who was involved with these schemes is also a major pedophile and is involved in human trafficking as well. And, you know, these revelations, again, should come as no surprise. And Matthew Iglesias and Glenn Greenwald actually made the very astute point that in some respects, what is most disturbing around these revelations is what is actually technically legal. So as much as the law has been broken, we also know that the ability of the ultra wealthy and the corporate sector to evade taxes by setting up offshore accounts, by basing headquarters in tax-free havens is legal in the international system. I'm going to quote Matthew Iglesias. He said, quote, "Even as the world's wealthiest and most powerful nations have engaged in increasingly complex and intensive efforts at international cooperation to smooth the wheels of global commerce, they have willfully chosen to allow the wealthiest members of Western society to shield their financial assets from taxation and in many cases divorces or bankruptcy settlements by taking advantage of shell companies and tax havens. In Panama or the Cayman Islands, if Panama or the Cayman Islands were acting to undermine the integrity of the global pharmaceutical patent system, the United States would stop them. But the political elite of Western nations have not acted to stop relatively puny Caribbean nations from undermining the integrity of the global tax system, largely because Western economic elites don't want them to. But even though the various criminal money laundering schemes are the sexiest possible use of shell companies, the day-to-day tax dodging is what really pays the bills. And that's absolutely right. So that the global parallel to this insane quest to slash top marginal tax rates, this desire to, have tax holidays for corporations like Apple that have money parked overseas that do not pay and contribute into the system is allowed. That's absolutely right. If Panama set up a system that undermined pharma or Hollywood, they would be destroyed. The Virgin Islands and Panama facilitate everything from, again, the illegal to the money laundering for cartels. and also just the Republican donors of the world, and frankly, many Democratic donors of the world who don't want to pay their taxes, and they are never responded to. And these documents, again, they show President Obama pushing through Panama trade, and some of these emails specifically saying, look, this is a problem with overseas tax havens in Panama, and the administration obviously ignored it.
Hi, I'm Sam Seder, and this is an Ann Coulter doll.
You should not be immigrating here. Stay in your country and hate us.
For smart progressive talk and a little bit of this and even a little bit of that.
Mission accomplished.
Subscribe to our podcast, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and like us on Facebook to get some of our best video clips.